Hi everybody, I am back from holidays and it might just take me a little while. I've had a couple of days of trying to get my sleep patterns back in order and they are just not. So I'm now videoing at 2 a.m. in the morning and I'm usually at the moment awake between 12 a.m. and 4 a.m. Then yesterday I went back to sleep and slept till 3 in the afternoon. So I'm still not quite with it after the travel to the other side of the world, but that's okay. This is what happens and I've got plenty of time to sort out things. What I thought I would do was do a junk journal out of the paraphernalia that I got now. So it would be a travel junk journal. It's doing it the wrong way round in some ways because I'm making it after the holiday, but I might come back to it and put in some printout photos and things like that. So I've just tentatively made a group of signatures and a cover. So this was the Abu Dhabi National Aquarium, and don't worry, I'm actually going to put footage, photos and a voiceover of the trip, so you'll get basically to see what I saw and experienced. So I've put this together already. Maybe it'll change a little bit, but for now this is where I've got to. So little things like this plastic, that's going to be a good little pocket. Just weirdly, things like this will be a memory that when Lily and I arrived in the Airbnb in Paris, one of the first things we bought was some miso soup, miso and tofu soup. So I've got a little bag. We bought some of these herbour, whatever that means. So I don't know, you know, that was us in Paris. I don't know how to speak this language. We went to Starbucks because Lily collects Starbucks mugs from different places, so I got a Paris one while I was there. This was the little deli paper that she had. We got a great big massive bunch of white asparagus, so I think I'll cut this one down to fit in because it's sticking out further than I want it to stick out. So that's going to be one. So this, we got some macaroons. So I've got little things like the sticker from the aeroplane. I got vegetarian ovo-lacto meals on the plane. This was where on Lily's birthday we went into a big department store, Lafayette it's called, and we got 2 macaroons anyway. So I thought that should probably go in the middle, like that. So this can be opened and used to put something in. At the moment it's got a little sticker. Not sure about this side. I'm just thinking I might stick that down and just put some sort of a sticker or something on that. Alright, so that's one idea for a signature. As I have got the handle for this, and I've done that before with the junk journal, I thought I would also use this. So I'm inclined to try and cut this back so as you can still see it. The Starbucks label will be fine, but this one will be cut back. Alright, so that's one. I've got the map from the gallery, the big museum, which we walked around for hours and hours and hours. And I've got an airline bag. Now, Cafe de Flore, we went for Lily's birthday. We did lots of things for Lily's birthday. We did 3 days in a row. So little things like this held either cutlery from a restaurant or something like that. This was my transfer to make sure my bags went through. So it's a little tag. when we went into Café de Flore. Okay, so Café de Flore is where Simone de Beauvoir and Paul Sartre used to go and basically have long chats, then they'd separate and she'd sit in one corner and do her writing and he'd sit in the other corner and do his writing, and she would always order boiled eggs. So Lily and I went in there, sat, ordered boiled eggs, and they were the best boiled eggs we'd ever had. So here's, I ordered, also she would also order a pot of melted hot chocolate, so it was real hot chocolate melted into a pot and then you'd pour it. And the pot was a stainless steel, no, it was, it was silver, the one that tarnishes and you have to polish it up. And they have these little things in Paris, so we don't have this in Australia. So they'd have these little things and you would slip that onto the handle of the tiny little, like a kettle-y teapot thing. And this would mean you could hold it to pour it without burning your hands. And then they gave us these little coasters to put our drinks on, which we just had some water other than that. And this was the little booklet that they sent you, they put the bill in. So I'm thinking that this is another signature. This is the airline bag. When you're on an airline, you get a breakfast or a dinner, but if you're on an airline over lunchtime, they brought out these little bags with a little roll or a sandwich in. So this was the cutlery. I use this as a little pocket. I'm going to fix that a little bit. This was from the Louvre in Dubai. We went to the Louvre, so I'm going to be pasting that on there. Now, one thing I'm thinking, here's the map. Do I want that? Do I want to sew this in and have this so you can see it? But then I'm not thinking that it's a good idea. I don't know if I need to have the map or to see the map, but I'd like to be able to see and have a reminder that I saw a whole heap of real Van Goghs and Paul Gauguin. Oh, what a walk around that was. That was an artist's dream. Every time I'd be walking around the corner and going, oh, it's a Cézanne, it's a real Cézanne. It's a real Monet, as you do. All right, so that's another idea for a signature. I've got here the envelope, which we got when we got to Conrad Jupiter, the Etihad Towers. If anyone follows my art Instagram, I have put a link on one of the photos someone was asking, and I've got my normal personal Instagram has a lot more photos, so if you want to, maybe I'll just put the link for that. So I've got another bag, if you want to see more of the photos. Another bag that had, see, I'll remember, it might not mean anything to anyone else, but I remember that I bought a couple of fridge magnets. So Lily and I both have a thing where wherever we go we buy a fridge magnet, so our fridge has got magnets of the places we've visited, and I've actually got a double door fridge, and on the right hand side I've got one or two magnets that people have given me. So I had a beautiful guy who was my cleaner for a little while after I'd had surgery, and he gave me a Spanish bull that is made like Gaudi in Barcelona. So it was a bull in that design, like a stained glass almost, and that's on the right hand side because I haven't been there yet. Anyway, I was digressing. All right, so an envelope, I got some postcards in. So this, I think I'll probably cut these bases off, and that's another signature. So I'm going to put them into this aquarium bag. So that's, aside from this, which I'll cut back, kind of ready to go. Oh, I missed that out. Let's put that back in. All right, so I'm going to put that down. Now, while I was thinking about it, On our little jaunts into Starbucks in Abu Dhabi, we didn't like I think Lily might have got the Abu Dhabi large Starbucks cup. So they're about, they're quite a good size cup. They're about that by, about this high. I just got a Paris one because I didn't want an Abu Dhabi one. But in Abu Dhabi, we discovered that Starbucks they're almost like Christmas ornaments. So they're little tiny coffee cups with the handle and a bit of velvety stuff on them. So I've got an Abu Dhabi one of those and a France one of those, but I'm actually going to use those as little coffee, little tiny coffee cups. So I've got a couple of things that I've picked up along the way that I thought this might work as a belly band. I don't know. I've just got them in my little stash. So here's my stash of possible belly bands. I've got, this is on the plane, Wake Me Up to Eat or Do Not Disturb. So that was pretty good. I have to say, Etihad is the best airline in the world. That's my after flying with Lufthansa for one flight and Air Jordan, although Air Jordan was both Lufthansa and Air Jordan were really cheap flights to just get us to Paris and get us back from Paris. However, Air Jordan, the planes were, you could tell they were really not getting a lot of customers, etc. The planes were a bit rickety, but however, the man who was the hostess, what do you call him? The flight attendant, sorry, was just amazing. He was fabulous and he made us laugh a lot because we got onto that flight. Seriously, it was like Wobby World. And a man was sitting in our seats and didn't want to move, and he was a grumpy French man, an older guy. He just didn't want to move. He decided that was his seat and he was sitting there, and he'd put things on the seats so no one would sit next to him, and oh my goodness, we just said, well, they're our seats, sorry. And so he moved and he was grumpy, and then we'd had 2 hours sleep because we were on an early flight and we'd had to get to the airport, and that takes a while on the train, etc. And so I tried to put my seat back to have a little nap, and the lady behind me was hitting my seat and kicking me and saying, no, no, no. And Lily and I looked at each other and we were just so tired. We just, this is the flight from hell after Etihad has just been absolutely brilliant. Anyway, this is the Air Jordan flight attendant. This is how sweet he was. I know you were meant to pay if you wanted to have no one in the seat next to you. You could pay and a bit extra, and that would happen. But he saw, and I just said to him, please apologise to the lady. I've had 2 hours sleep. I just wanted to have a little nap. And so she was a horrible old lady for being that rude. And he came back and he said, there's spare seats up the back. Why don't you both go up the back of the seat and have a row each and you can have a sleep? And we just, something I found was I'm waffling on, of course, but I'm not even showing you the things, but something I found was that the time in Abu Dhabi and his behaviour was so kind. And kindness, obviously if you're travelling all of a sudden after many years, you forget that you get some places where people are just not kind. They don't care. They're horrible, and they're like not happy with themselves and they're not happy with the world, and they want everyone else to be brought down and pulled down and into the same space. So him putting us up the back and letting us have a row each so we could lay down and have a nap was just pure kindness. Anyway, that was Royal Jordan Airlines, and we ended up stopping in Jordan, and that was fascinating because Lily said she'd always wanted to go there. But I mean, it's not the same if you stop off at an airport. You just get a feel for the general vibe of the place, but you're not really getting out and going into the culture. So we did that. On the way back, I also had a cheap flight, Lufthansa, from Paris, and we stopped at Frankfurt, and then Frankfurt to Abu Dhabi, and then Abu Dhabi back to Melbourne. So I'm not even going to recommend Lufthansa because they would not put my bags through. they said, well, it's not a joining flight, so we're not putting your bags through. You'll just have to lose your flight. And so I went, these people are not kind either. And I got to Frankfurt and went to go through, I just left my bags. I just thought, well, you know what? They're going through to Abu Dhabi. I'll have to see if I've got time at Abu Dhabi to grab them. If I don't, I'll just have to get on the plane and it'll be bad luck. And I'll just have to get them to put them on another plane and get them, you know, later in Melbourne. Anyway, I got to Frankfurt and I got on that. I went to get on the plane. They saw my passport and they said, what about your bags? So once again, this was not Lufthansa, this was Etihad that were doing the Frankfurt to Abu Dhabi leg of the flight. And I said, well, they just told me I'm going to have to lose they wouldn't put it through, and they told me I'll have to lose my ticket and buy a new flight, and I'm not going to do that. And they said, well, you can't fly without your baggage going through. We will hold the plane up for 5 minutes, find your baggage and put a sticker on. And, you know, I have to say, when you're travelling and you're really tired, I should be working through these while I'm waffling. So these are ideas for belly band. When you're tired, so this was on, what was this? This was around the asparagus, I think. But look, it's an elastic band. How good is that for a belly band? Perfect, ready made. When you're tired, if someone does something kind to you, it's really noticeable, you know. When they did that, I just went and I sat in the departure lounge and I just cried. I just cried that someone could be that kind to just take 5 minutes to sort that out. And I tell you what, because Lufthansa didn't care, I am recommending them to nobody. No one. Don't fly with them ever. That's my take on it. Okay, so anyway, I'm back home. It was a very stressful flight back. The Paris airport is large. Paris train station is large. You get lost. You can't work out where you're going. That was very, very stressful. But those little moments of kindness warm your heart and you think, oh, isn't it amazing that people care? So being an Etihad guest, here's the tag that they gave us for our bags. At the start, it was all exciting. We went to the Louvre in Abu Dhabi. We didn't actually go in the Louvre at Paris. Every time I've been there, I've never managed it, but we did do the museum, as I said before. So we did get raspberry cheesecake, which was pretty awesome. I thought this might be fun to have in the travel journal as it was on the, you know how they put these on the back of the seats so your hair doesn't get on the seat. I thought I might just put this in like a little flag or something. Maybe I took it off before I sat in the seat. I took it off. No, that's right. Lily and I had a spare seat in the middle. No one sat there. We were lucky with Eddie had both on the way, the long 14-hour flight, and me coming back. Lily's still there. She stayed an extra week. To not have anyone next to in the middle of the row, so I took the middle one of that. So I think maybe I'll make a little pocket or something. Anyway, that's got to go in a signature. So I'm probably waffling on a bit too much about what happened, mainly about the flights, but I will do a separate video. Okay, so Cafe Campana, I think this was when we were at Abu Dhabi at the Louvre, when we were having a little snack and a cakey. These were what they gave us with the knives and forks in. So I'm thinking if that's bent back and I punch a little notch here, that's a great little pocket. So I've got 2 of those to put in. I've got my train, we got weekly passes, so I've got them. I've got a sticker. where was that from? I can't remember where that was from, but it was a vegan place. So I grabbed, oh, I know, we went for Lily's other birthday lunch. There was 3 of them. She doesn't do it in small doses. We went to a vegan place the day before because it wasn't open on her birthday, and oh my goodness. Anyway, you'll see it in the photos. Okay, so another Cafe de Flore little napkin. When we went to Marseille, where I also got a pot of tea, and this was the Palace. Not Marseille, sorry. Versailles. Lily's in Marseille at the moment. This was the Palace at Versailles, so this was the little one that they put on the cup of tea, pot of Earl Grey. Right, so I've got Abu Dhabi map of Versailles. I've got to work out how to either stick them so they can be pulled out and I can look at them. Just look at these, the beautiful browns. Amazing. It was so big, so beautiful. So I've got the maps that I want to put in somehow, because it's, even though it's an after effect, you know, there are things that you want to remember if you look back and look at the map. So this is the map of Abu Dhabi. Did I say Abu Dhabi at some point? I've been doing that. I apologise. It's Abu Dhabi. Dubai is 1 hour away from Abu Dhabi. So fantastic, interesting little place. Little, big. Just beautiful anyway. Really touched me being there. They had all sorts of tours organised as part of the prize, and just gorgeous. Okay, so the train map for Paris. I'll definitely be able to do something like glue this down onto something and then have it folded like so it can be pulled out and looked at. So that's that. I've still got my room key for, they let you keep the room keys. I don't know if it's a COVID thing. So I've still got my Etihad room key, and I've got the room key for the place I stayed the very last day. I think it must be in a different bag, and that was where I got this one. So I've got those. So I might just put the 2 room keys in like this and put them in. So Palais Garnier, that was amazing. So I've got a few little things like, you know, my bits and pieces. I bought Abu Dhabi, because we went in the mosque and the Louvre, I bought a little magnet set that's got the 2, so that's on my fridge. This little bag, I can't remember what it had in it, but the ticket for Saint Chapelle, which was amazing. Musée d'Orsay. Just Royal Jordan tickets. I don't think I've got any Lufthansa or anything in here. They're just off my list. Simple. This was the place we went for Lily's birthday number 1 the day before. Le Potage de Charlotte, vegan place, absolutely gorgeous. So I thought this little bag, which I have no idea what I got in it, probably a magnet or something of some sort that's now on the fridge. I think at Versailles, I think that this bag was the one I bought a little Marie Antoinette magnet for the fridge, because of course Marie Antoinette was, they say she said let them eat cake, but she didn't actually say it. Anyway, I think that bag was from that. So I've got those in there. These will go in something. I've got my little travelling zip-up thing. So I'm still thinking, every time you get on a plane, they give you this. It's got a face mask and a whole heap of sanitary wipes in. I don't know if I'm going to use them. I've just put them with the stash at the moment. All right, so just a few random bits and pieces. Like this was the Royal Jordan, and they did offer a quick transfer and cared, so they're a good airline. Go with them, even though it's a bit of a rickety old bus. So I've kept my Cafe de Flore. We also got the soup à l'oignon, because, when in Paris, French onion soup comes with a very thick soup of just onion in a sauce, really, and then a beautiful bread on top. So we had to have those when we went there. Having our Simone de Beauvoir moment. All right, so I think this was buying postcards at the Musée d'Orsay. So I've got things like that as just little stick-in mementos. And when we visited the mosque, there's a what you should and shouldn't wear and manners. So these are sort of little bits and pieces. This came from with the macarons. Little memories like, okay, this was the night I stayed at the Mercure near the airport the night before I left. Sometimes if you like a place, you might think about staying there again if you go back. So it's sort of handy to just have a little record of that. This is a napkin, so I'm thinking I just want to get that stuck. So these are bits and pieces that I think I'm going to make, like a masterboard and have them and just cut out bits for actual tags. All right, so just little things like this. This is a good card. I might keep this side and cover this and make it a writing spot. This is this is the special one. Thank you for, hope you enjoy the celebration with, that kind of thing. Here's my email that was, congratulations, you've won. I thought I might just put a little bit, just cut out my little travel insurance thing, just so I've got it for a memory. So I think these might be tags, or they'll be just stuck on the individual pages. This is in case in 20 or 30 years someone's going through my stuff and they go, oh my goodness, that was the time of COVID. You couldn't travel without your triple vax certificate, blah, blah, blah. And also for Australia to come back in, I had to have my, it was good because you could either do a PCR test or the rapid antigen. So the PCR test was over €100 and the rapid antigen was 37 euros. So what, 60, 55 or something Australian dollars. So I had to have a negative test to be able to get on the plane to come back to Australia. However, now Lily won't have to because now they've changed the rules in Australia. So they've made it a lot easier. You don't have to go to this trouble. So that's my stash, and I am going to start working on making the junk journal and come back. Okay, I'm back, and here is a flip through of the junk journal as it is so far. And I'd put some silk ribbon around to contain it. What I realised as soon as I started putting things in was that the bulk of my signatures all were to do with Paris and nothing to do with Abu Dhabi. So the way I got around that was I have put the welcome card here and used that as a pocket. I've put inside my email, congratulations, the fork and knife from holder as a little pocket to put things in from Abu Dhabi's The Louvre. I've put in my little travel insurance thing as a reminder. The raspberry cheesecake we had at the museum, at the Louvre, I've put in the guidelines. And when we went to the mosque, they were quite strict about the manners. They don't say, obviously if you don't want to do it, you don't go in. Simple as that. But they call it manners. And so it's out of respect for the religion and for what is expected. And this was the diagram of what to wear and what not to wear. So while we were there were two guys, typical younger ochre Aussie guys who were from Western Australia, and they both bought this outfit. So we were allowed to go into a shop, and so Lily and I went in and bought a beautiful silk scarf each, which we just love. They're just gorgeous. And these two guys bought the little outfit, and they were so funny because they just kept wearing it everywhere for the whole time. So just your classic Australian type of guy. I wanted to put the Abu Dhabi map in something, so I've used the little travel bag that we got, and I've put my little pass and the map of Abu Dhabi in there, and I've stuck it down with a bit of washi which wasn't holding it, so I've fabric fixed it so as it's more secure. I just ended up not deciding to use this as a pocket. I've just glued it, tucked it in under and just glued it all down with fabric fix as a reminder that the prize I won was part of Etihad celebrating the 15 years in Australia. So I've got still some pockets. I've put airline tickets. I've put a bit of washi around to keep in my train in Paris passes. I ended up gluing this one part of this travel map so I can still open it out for the train, and I can still even see the other side if I need to, and it just folds down in like that. I've put the two, so this is the only time I got out of sync. I've used the two bags which had the cutlery in from the Louvre in Abu Dhabi. Obviously by now I'm in Paris in consecutive order, but I've used those back to back as two little pockets. I've put the bag tag that they gave us when we left Australia here, just a reminder that they were doing little extra things like that to, make us feel special. I've got the little paper bag with some of the tickets from things. Right, Starbucks deli paper I haven't done anything with. This is kind of going to be a writing spot, I think. I've stuck down the base of the macaron bag, and I've put my little sticker for the ovo-lacto meal. So one little hint is, if you want to get served before everyone else, order vegetarian, halal, ovo-lacto, vegan, any sort of special meal, and it always comes out first. So that was kind of good on the flights. I've got this little thing, which the only thing I didn't get made was using, and I realised we had two of these, so I definitely want to make tags out of those. So they might go in here somewhere with the macarons, because that was from the cafe. Yeah, I think definitely this might be art space, writing space. I mean, the thing about this is that it's printed so that you can see it through. So the Starbucks, you can see it through this side. So I'm not quite sure, like if I cover up this, it'll probably still show through. So I don't know yet. I've put the face mask as a belly band, and I've put a pin. Now I'm going to change that. I'm going to swap that up with a safety pin, because that's another reminder of the trip, because we, when we bought our silk scarves and went in the mosque in Abu Dhabi, we used safety pins to secure them. So a safety pin now will always remind me, if it's in this setting, of us putting our headscarves on in Abu Dhabi mosque, because they was quite strict with mosque. I've got a little Starbucks thing, and I've got the little asparagus cover to use as a belly band. So that Starbucks reminds me of the cups. I've got the map, stuck on. I bought Lily a birthday present at the museum, actually. A little book which had some art in. I've put this is the backing, So I took a photo of the, you know, how they put down a bit of paper under your meal. At Cafe de Flore, I took a photo and I printed it out because I you know, you just, in the end you just go, oh, I look like terrible tourists stealing things. So I've stuck that on the back of the Etihad Guest 5-year celebration card that didn't have really anything of importance on it. That's just to remind me that that was the old original early days cafe photo that they use. Obviously been going a long time. I have stuck a little bit of pianola paper on the back of this transfer. To use as a writing spot. There's still a lot of writing spots. The Le Potage de Charlotte was where we went for the vegan, so for the first of Lily's birthdays. So I've just put on a flip so as, you know, I can look at Facebook or Instagram and see their page. And this was a sticker I picked up from there. The Cafe de Flore, I've stuck the little things that they handed us to put our cups on and the little pot holder. And even the receipt is in here. Okay, so there's still lots of areas to do things, fill in, write some things. That's the Palace Garnier ticket. This was the, a bit of glue on that, little another pot holder when we were at the, now I think it was called Angelique's, the little restaurant at the Palace of Versailles. These are probably always going to come up. There are many layers. And as you saw, I put a little photo in of at Cafe de Flore of how they use these on the little pots so you don't burn your hand on the handle. I put in here the map of Versailles. Another sticker. That envelope is kind of out of whack because it's the Etihad, the towers at the Comrade Abu Dhabi Etihad Towers, and it was room 2902. This is the room 204 with lots of twos, and I stayed my very last night in Paris. I stayed at the Mercure before flying out early. So that's it now for now with everything that's stuck in there. I think the rest it's just personal. I'll probably put photos in, write some stuff, make some tags out of those. I've got an English-French dictionary here that I might use with these to make some tags. So that's going to be one little thing I've got to do. But for now, I hope that you enjoyed seeing how I put together my little travel journal. I obviously have to fill in memories and mementos for myself. But that's how it is, that's it. And I hope you look forward to seeing my footage when I edit it of the trip with the photos and little bits of film, and I'll do a voiceover. Okay, that's it for now, and I'll see you in the next one. Lots of love and hugs. Bye for now. Thanks for watching.